Hello children, how are you all? Hope you all are in the pink of your health and you have enjoyed your Christmas, right? So you're back now. Today I'll be taking a new lesson for you, Reach for the Top by Santosh Yadav, okay? That is Reach for the Top. It is a lesson about Santosh Yadav. Now this lesson is a biographical piece. Now in this lesson, what you get is a motivation. Now this lesson is about a girl who reached the top. Who reached the top means she scaled the Himalayas. Okay, so reaching the top we can reach in different ways. Some get it academically, some get it through sports. So here this girl got it through sports, and she has reached the top, one of the highest peak in the world was scaled by her. So let us see what is there in this lesson. Reach for the top. Now this lesson is divided into two, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is about Santosh Yadav, the only woman in the world who has scaled Mount Everest twice, was born in a society where the birth of a son was regarded as a blessing and a daughter, though not considered a curse, was not generally welcome. She was born in a family where the birth of a son was regarded as a blessing, but the birth of a daughter, though it was not regarded as a curse, but it was not that a happy environment when a daughter was born. When her mother was expecting, Santosh, a traveling holy man, giving her his blessing, assumed that she wanted a son. But to everyone's surprise, the unborn child's grandmother, who was standing close by, told him that they did not want a son. The holy man was also surprised. Nevertheless, he gave the requested blessing, and as destiny would have it, the blessing seemed to work. So, whenever you see a pregnant woman, a lady who is going to give a birth to a child in North India, they are always blessed that a son will be born to you. And to hear such a blessing is always a very happy situation. So here too, when her mother was pregnant, as they were, a holy man just blessed her. That is, he assumed that they must be wanting a son. And that is why he blessed her by saying that a son will be born to you. But her grandmother was standing next to her mother. She said that, bless her with a daughter. And he was also surprised because this was not usually heard from any corner over there. And that too from a lady who was a little bit more mature than the mother. So he was also surprised, but he blessed her. And maybe that blessing came out to be true. Santosh was born the sixth child in a family with 5 sons, a sister to 5 brothers. She was born in the small village of Joniavas of Rewari district in Haryana. So the other reason why the grandmother asked for the blessing of a daughter was Santosh Yadav had 5 brothers and she was the 6th one. So she was born as a daughter to them. That is, they wanted a daughter in their family. And her mother was blessed with a daughter. So here she was born in a small village of Joniavas of Rewari district in Haryana. She was born in Joniavas of Rewari district in Haryana. The girl was given the name Santosh, which means contentment. Santosham, Malayalathi parayumbozhum, contentment. So she was given this name, which means contentment, happiness. But Santosh was not always content with a place in a traditional way of life. But she was not content because they had a traditional way of life. Now, she began living life on her own terms from the start. So right from the beginning, she had her own plans. Where other girls wore traditional Indian dresses, Santosh preferred shorts. Looking back, she says now, from the very beginning, I was quite determined that if I choose a correct and a rational path, the others around me had to change, not me. So she was a bit more advanced or modern in thinking. So she, as years passed by, when she looks back, she feels that a change has to occur in the village. So she thought of bringing a change in herself, and with that, the people around her will also change. And this is also what had happened over there. Santosh's parents were affluent landowners who could afford to send their children to the best schools, even to the country's capital, New Delhi, which was quite close by. But in line with the prevailing custom in the family, Santosh had to make do with a local village school. So she decided to flight the system in her own quiet way when the right moment arrived, and the right moment came when she turned 16. At 16, most of the girls in a village used to get married. Santosh was also under pressure from her parents to do the same. So, according to the village system, her parents were quite affluent. Affluent means they could afford to send her to Delhi, which was close to Haryana, for her studies. But they were not ready to send her because they were still traditional. So they didn't want their daughter to go far off. So Santosh agreed with it, and when she reached the age of 16, she tried to bring a change. What was a change? She decided to go for that is usually in the village side, when the girl reaches the age of 16, they were forced to get married, and all the girls agreed with their parents. So she got this pressure from her parents too, but she didn't agree with it. Santosh was also under pressure from her parents to do the same, but she didn't agree with it. So her parents were quite affluent, means they were rich. They could have sent her to Delhi for her studies, but they didn't send her because they were very traditional. So after her school education, that is by the time she reached 16, for her further studies, she wanted to do something different than the other children in her village, that is especially girls. So her parents also, according to their system, according to their tradition, they forced her to get married, but she didn't agree with it. A marriage as early as that was the last thing on her mind. She threatened her parents that she would never marry if she did not get a proper education. She left home and got herself enrolled in a school in Delhi. When her parents refused to pay for her education, she politely informed them of her plans to earn money by working part-time to pay her school fees. Her parents then agreed to pay for her education. So she was not ready to get married at such an early age. She said that she just threatened her parents that she would never marry if she was not given a proper education. She left home and got herself enrolled in a school in Delhi. When her parents refused to pay for her education, what she did is that she politely told them that if you're not going to pay for my education, I will continue my studies by doing a part-time job. And this was something very, that is, they felt that this should not happen. They didn't want their daughter to do any part-time job. And that is why they agreed to pay for her fees. Wishing always to study a bit more, and with her father always getting used to her urge for more education, Santosh passed the high school examinations and went to Jaipur. She joined Maharani College and got a room in Kasturba Hostel. Santosh remembers Kasturba Hostel faced the Aravali Hills. I used to watch the villagers from my room going up the hill and suddenly vanishing after a while. One day, I decided to check it out myself. I found nobody except a few mountaineers. I asked if I could join them. To my pleasant surprise, they answered in the affirmative and motivated me to take to climbing. So how she got this urge for climbing is, or for mountaineering, is said over here. So after her studies, that is high school in higher secondary, that is in Delhi, she joined, she always wanted to study a bit more. So now her father got used, that her father came to know that she wants to continue her education and she will not agree with anything else. So she went and joined Jaipur, and there, she got a hostel room. That is, she joined Maharani College, and there she got a room in Kasturba Hostel. And now she remembers, that is later on when she wrote this, she remembers that her hostel faced the Aravali Hills. And many a times she used to stand over there and watch villagers climbing, and all of a sudden they disappeared. That is, it was very misty. That is why they disappeared. So one day she also decided to check it out herself. That is, she wanted to find out what is happening over there. And when she went over there, she found a few mountaineers. That was a surprise for her. And she asked them if she could join with them. They all motivated her. They were ready to make her join with them. Then there was no looking back for this determined young girl. And from there, she made herself up. She got the determination in herself that she will become a mountaineer. She will check it out and she will go out to find out what is there behind it. She saved money and enrolled in a course at Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. So, just as we have got colleges for engineering, for medicine, for various courses, so one of the courses is mountaineering. So what she did, she saved money and enrolled in a course at Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. My college semester in Jaipur was to end in April, but it ended on the 19th of May. Now she had planned that she will join by May, but her college semester, which was to end in April, was extended and it got over on the 19th of May. And I was supposed to be in Uttarkashi on the 21st. So what she had planned, as soon as her exams got over in April, she will join in May. But because there was some uneasy, or maybe something must have gone wrong with the university, the examination got extended and the course was completed, that is the semester exam got over only on 19th of May. And she was supposed to join Uttarkashi on 21st of May. So I did not go back home. Instead, I headed straight for the training. So actually, she had planned to go home and then come and join for the training. But then there was no go. She had to go directly from her college to join this course for mountaineering. I had to write a letter of apology to my father, without whose permission I had got myself enrolled at Uttarkashi. Actually, she had planned all this so that after her semester exam, when she goes home, she could convince her father and get their permission. But fortunately or unfortunately, this did not happen. She had to go directly from her college to Uttarkashi, and she wrote a letter of apology to her father because without his permission, she had enrolled herself for this course. Thereafter, Santosh went on an expedition every year. Her climbing skills matured rapidly. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance to cold and the altitude. So it is not that easy, my dear children. Climbing, scaling the heights is something different. Howsoever motivated you are, your body should also accept it, because it is very, very cold. So your body should also respond to it. Now, from then on, she used to go every year for expedition, and her climbing skills matured rapidly. She developed a remarkable resistance to cold and altitude, to scale the heights as well as the cold temperature. Equipped with an iron will, physical endurance, and an amazing mental toughness, she proved herself repeatedly. So what was she equipped with? That is, when we are conducting an experiments, we have got lot of equipments. That is, when we are conducting an experiment, we have to have equipments. So here, she was equipped with an iron will. She had a very strong heart. Physical endurance, that is, her body could bear it, and an amazing mental toughness. She had prepared it mentally. She proved herself repeatedly. This could be seen because she proved it. Every time she went for an expedition, she became better and better. The culmination of her hard work and sincerity came in 1992. The culmination, that is, her hard work, her mental capacity, her physical endurance, all came together in the year 1992. That is about 18 years ago. Just 4 years after she had shyly asked the Aravalli mountaineers if she could join them. So, 4 years, that is 1992, was the year where she had crossed, or she had won what she had intended to do. And just 4 years ago, when she had joined the college in Jaipur, she went and asked shyly, that is, she was only a girl of 16, to the mountaineers whether they could allow her to join with them. And they motivated her. She got her inspiration from them because she had prepared mentally that she wanted to do something different. At barely 20 years of age, Santosh Yadav scaled Mount Everest. Just imagine, she was only 20 years when she scaled Mount Everest, becoming the youngest woman in the world to achieve the feat. She was the youngest woman in the world to achieve this rare feat. If her climbing skills, physical fitness, and mental strength impressed her seniors, her concern for others and desire to work together with them found her a special place in the hearts of fellow climbers. So, what was it? She was the youngest, so the mountaineers, that is, the people who were along with her to train her, they were all surprised. But if her climbing skills, physical fitness, and mental strength impressed her seniors, there was something on the other side of the coin, and that was her concern for others. She always concerned about others. She had a concern for others and desired to work together with them. That is, she had a desire to work with them for a special place in the hearts of her fellow climbers. So she got a special place, that is, everybody admired her. That may be her down to earth behavior. Okay. During the 1992 Everest mission, Santosh Yadav provided special care to a climber who lay dying at the South Col. She was unfortunately unsuccessful in saving him. However, she managed to save another climber, Mohan Singh, who would have met with the same fate had she not shared her oxygen with him. So, when people go, you can just imagine they can only carry up to a limit things with them. So, while she was climbing in the 1992 Everest mission, she went to save a man who was lying there without oxygen, but unfortunately she couldn't save him. But at the same time, she saved another man, Mohan Singh, who was undergoing the same situation. She shared her oxygen cylinder with him and saved his life. Within 12 months, Santosh found herself a member of an Indo-Nepalese women's expedition that invited her to join them. So, after scaling this in the year 1992, after about 12 months, she was asked to join the Indo-Nepalese women's expedition, who invited her to join with them. She then scaled the Everest a second time, thus setting a record as the only woman to have scaled the Everest twice and securing for herself and India a unique place in the annals of mountaineering. In recognition of her achievement, the Indian government bestowed upon her one of the nation's top honors, the Padma Shri. So, she was invited the second time and she again climbed the Everest. She was the youngest and to climb this Mount Everest twice. So, she became a world-known figure to have scaled the Everest twice, and the Indian government bestowed upon her for her achievements one of the top nation's honor, that is the Padma Shri. Describing her feelings when she was literally on the top of the world, Santosh has said it took some time for the enormity of the moment to sink in. Then I unfurled the Indian tricolor and held it aloft on the roof of the world. The feeling is indescribable. The Indian flag was flying on top of the world. It was truly a spiritual moment. I felt proud as an Indian. Also, a fervent environmentalist, Santosh collected and brought down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. So people always go up. She reached the top and she says that It was one of the proudest moments for her. She unrolled the Indian national flag, which stood on the top of the world, and she was proud to be an Indian. The next good thing that she did was that as she was coming down, she collected 500 kgs of garbage from the Himalayas while she scaled down the Himalayas. So this lesson is one of the lesson which brings in you a great inspiration and motivation. So it is left up to us to decide what we have to do in the future. So as children, when you read such lessons or when you read such inspirational lessons, I'm sure you will also get inspirated. So compared to her, you have got everything around you. It is only you who have to choose the right field. So I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Read the lesson at least 3 times. There is nothing difficult words over here. But the only thing is that try to understand it and read it about 3 to 4 times. I'll give you the notes. See that you take it up seriously. Okay, have a nice day, a blissful day. Thank you, my dear children.